Joining me now is former Navy SEAL and FBI Special Agent Jonathan Gilliam. And Jonathan, thank you for your service first. And what do you make then of our Defense Secretary referencing Turkey now in the fight?
Well, first of all, it's an honor to be on with you, Governor. I'm a huge fan. And, you know, your opening remarks where you talked about doing things that are effective and concentrating on the effective things, that has always been my strategy in everything that I do. And that's why I've been a part of these different units, like the SEAL teams, like the FBI. And what I don't see from our own Secretary of Defense, from our own President, who's the Commander-in-Chief, is anything that's effective. And I think, you know, saying that Turkey has to get involved, when are we going to get involved? When are we going to take the lead? There's no other country that's as great as America. There's no other country that can truly take the lead to defeat ISIS. And going out and insisting that another country gets involved when we ourselves are only a quarter involved. I mean, how can you expect anybody else to take the lead when we're not willing to step out there ourselves?
Yeah, those are great points. And Jonathan, I think the media has something to do with this. The media not holding the administration accountable in terms of the administration have any kind of strategy to actually win in this. Why do you think the media is ignoring the growing and real threat of ISIS?
Well, you know, I've learned a lot about the media since I've been out of the FBI since the beginning of 2013, and I've kind of been in the media a lot since then. And what I've learned about the media is, you know, it's really a business. I mean, they're concentrating on the here and now. And when it comes to forward thinking, news agencies really look at the world the same way like an airline industry does. They wait until something happens to react to it. And unfortunately, when you look at the influence that the media has, it doesn't measure up to the message that they're putting out, because they're really just waiting on something to happen, and that does nothing to inform the public. And I think that's where the media, you know, they've taken on their responsibility. They've fought for their constitutional rights and freedom of speech in the Supreme Court, but yet they don't take the leap of faith out there to say and question these different administrators and say, hey, you know, what are you doing? And now you take that and you contrast it with people like, you know, the Secretary of Defense or the President, whose job it is to be out there making these changes. I can't hold the media accountable as much as I can them, but I will say this to the media. You know, you're just barely an inch away from being that entity that you pride yourself on being. If you look and make sure that you screen the experts that you have on and make sure that you see what the reality is of the world that's happening around you, the media can actually make a huge difference in all this.
You know, Jonathan, that's what I love about you. There, you propose a solution. You're helping out the media, telling them what they can do in a positive sense to do better. You're not just throwing stones, griping about it. You're offering solutions. So they should thank you, and I thank you. Speaking of being proactive and positive, over the weekend, 3 Americans stopped an Islamic attack on that train in Belgium. 2 of them are vets like you. We honor you. We're proud of these guys. I know you are too. Are you surprised our guys jumped in?
Well, I'm not surprised that in the way that it unfolded. First off, you know, I think the medics in our military don't get enough recognition for the incredible things that they do. I mean, they're the ones who save our lives when we go into battle. And this Air Force medic, you know, when he saw what was happening, he jumped in there, and then his buddies jumped in there with him. And here's the thing, Governor, you know, this is a reality for everybody now. These 3 individuals and this other, I think it was a French-American civilian that jumped in there, they really set the example for the way that we have to live now. We have to do 3 things, I think, as civilians that really are going to help in any of these situations. First off, you can't go anywhere without understanding the surroundings that you're in. If you're at a concert, even if you're at a bar or a cafe, or if you're dropping your kids off at school, know your surroundings. And then secondly, when you see something happen that's not normal, because you know your surroundings, you have to commit. If you're going to get into something with somebody, you have to commit. And that's what these 3 guys did. They said they committed to acting. Once you do that, you have to see the fight through. Otherwise, your counterattack can turn against you. And as crazy as it sounds, I'm talking to civilians about a counterattack and about being aware and committing to a fight. That's just the reality of where we live. And even though the chances are low that you'll ever be in a terrorist attack, if you are, whether it's terrorist or criminal, the faster or the more you understand your surroundings, the faster you respond, and the more committed you are to seeing that response through, the more likely you are to living.
Well, there again, Jonathan, you proposing the solutions, letting people know what they can do to defend themselves and not just rely on law enforcement or someone else to jump in and save the day. So thank you for that. And really, their actions and what you're doing today bode so well for our veteran community and the military and the training, the mindset that you all have. It's greatly appreciated. So, Jonathan, for your expertise, we thank you so much for joining us and hope to speak to you soon.